feels right, that's that ascension. Never go back to when we before you forgot my worth. Your love for me feels like a rebirth. I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine. Before you forgot my worth. Your love for me feels like a rebirth. I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine.
Have read this book, go ahead and drop in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, so who is the book for?
Enough. I've waited as long as I've lived. Time's up. Come get what's yours and what's real. Boot up. Blissful in each other's skin. Above. Come inside. Finally risen to the occasion. Past love's forgiven. Made heart space for the one. When it feels right, that's that ascension. Never going back to when before you forgot my worth. Your love for me feels like a rebirth. I don't wanna lose this high, wouldn't wanna lose this high. I just wanna make me yours, I just wanna make you mine.
All righty, you guys. So thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Book Club. Y'all like the no? Maybe so. I don't know. I mean, you can heart. Let me know. Was the enthusiasm there for you? Okay, I don't care. Honestly, I really did like this book because I feel like it really resonated with a lot of the things that I am for. I'm going to try to incorporate this in the in-person book club that we're going to do next in 2 weeks. So I am going to go ahead and put that flyer up. Oh man, I got the wrong one. I sent the wrong one, you guys. I just thought about it.
Dang.
Go ahead. You talk. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it.
Okay, so 10 commandments of Black economic power. Just the overview. I just wanted to read like the chapters. Number 1, always be an asset to your family. Number 2, buy Black whenever possible. Buying Black is key to our survival. Commandment number 3, Black wealth training must be a rite of passage. Commandment number 5, invest in healthy relationships and maintain them. Commandment number 6, keep it all in the family whenever possible. Commandment number 7, capital must be preserved, protected, and effectively used. Commandment number 8, always plant seeds for the future. Commandment number 9, always leave a worthy inheritance. And commandment number 10, ownership is the key to power.
Yes. So I'm glad she did that, because what we're going to do real quick is while we're on here and while you guys are on here, we're going to show you now Instagram. What is this? TikTok. I'm sorry. They need to update these features because for real, you know,
you might not even have it for too much
longer. For real. Hold on. Let me see if I can, bring this around so y'all can see. Bring this down a little bit because I'm gonna play some commercials. I can't let y'all see what we got going on. So we're going to go with our first commercial. So because we're talking about Black economic power, there is a Juneteenth extravaganza. It's going to be a Black film festival about the Columbia Wall Street. So you guys, if you are in Columbia or surrounding areas, make sure that y'all come check this out. All y'all can see is my hand because that's how I talk. So puppets, yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and play this commercial for you.
Some Black folks said, we have the capacity, we have the wherewithal, and we have the resources to build our own world.
In the 1100 of Washington Street, most people were trying to better themselves.
That's why I think that early history is so critical, because we see examples of success despite overwhelming odds.
Those businesses provided a foundation for moving those communities forward.
Columbia is a diverse community, and we cannot forget the Black Business District did exist and how important it was to the legacy of our community.
We must preserve the rich legacy of Columbia's Black Business District by sharing the stories, the triumphs of those businesses that contributed to the social and economic fabric of our city as we know it today.
Okay, you guys. Yeah, so, I had to make that work for us just now.
It's a real bag.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's fine. Cool. But yeah, so I felt like this, was a great commercial or something to share with you guys, because what we're talking about, there were several different places in the world, or in the United States, because we're going to focus on the United States. Sorry, you guys. All over the place today that actually tried to create wealth for our community. And a lot of the things that we're trying to do is trying to bring about community, education. And the book actually talks about a lot of those things. And in order for us to actually get where we want to go as far as a community, we have to start thinking and acting like a community. Now, I don't know if TikTok is going to allow this kind of talk, so hopefully we don't get kicked off. If we do get kicked off, we are on Facebook and Instagram as well. So make sure to go over there if you don't see us no more, because this do be tripping.
Yeah.
So at the same time, again, just going into the book, when they talk about always being an asset to your family, it's like, well, what does that even really mean? How do you become an asset to your family? And he talks about, being a felon, someone that's draining the family money, or someone that's draining the what is it? How do you explain that? Someone that's draining, like, the example he uses basically someone who, has a mom, like he used like a guy. He used a male and said, hey, I gave birth to this child. Now they're going out having all these kids that they're not taking care of. They're doing drugs. They're going to jail. They're always looking for someone to bail them out. They're not adding value into the family. Like, as far as, and value would be, going to get an education. And I'm going to go into why I did air quotes, but getting education and bringing money to the family. A lot of times, and he talks about this, and I see in my mind, or not even in my mind, I've been connecting with people recently, and I'm seeing community. I'm seeing community, and it's making me hopeful about where we're going, right? And in the community, I'm seeing, men and women coming together and building things together. And that's the only way that we as a society or a community will get anywhere. I just recently saw a study where it says that the Black dollar only circulates in our community for 6 hours. Any other community, like I'm gonna spell it out because, again, this shit is sensitive. I'm surprised I can say shit and not what I'm about to say. But in the AIN community, their money circulates for 21 hours before it leaves their community and goes out of the community. The JEWS, 19 days before it goes out of the community. But why is it 6 hours for us? I recently was able to see Cynthia Hardy show, and she talked about integration. And I think that was a really, and they even talk about it in this book. So for me to be hearing this is like, ping, 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 how integration had stopped a lot of people from creating generational wealth within our community. And I've definitely, have been telling people about that all the time. It's like we are so focused on other communities that we don't necessarily focus on ours, and the trust factor. So, before I start jumping ahead, yeah,
I know what part you're talking about. He was talking about how this guy is like the baby of the family. He was the only guy, so they pretty much like coddled him. So he was spoiled, right? So as he got older, he never really learned to like be a provider or protector or any of those things. So he ended up having these kids that he didn't take care of, and he was always asking them to bail him out, or he was always, up underneath another woman to take care of him. And when you do that to your child, even if it is not a boy, because it could be a girl too, same situation, you don't really teach them how to thrive. Or, you don't teach them how to, take care of bills and take care of money and do all the things that they need to do as an adult. So they just grow up to be,
lazy,
big children.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
did say
Like,
that. He said big children.
They're big children. They're not adults. They're just, children in adult bodies. So it's very important to make sure that you invest that time in your kids and make sure that they are able to thrive as a single person. And well, I shouldn't even say a single person, because there's more to the book that talks about being a community, but just to be a grown-up and do grown-up things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make sure you teach your kids that. That's important.
So I think we're going to skip to number 3, which is Black wealth training must be a rite of passage. So what she's talking about is training in the home. There are people that are rich, but their kids don't understand the concept of money because they have money, where people who struggle, when they build something, they understand what they built because they had to build it. They know what lack feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want our kids to go through lack, but at the same time, we have to show them discipline. We have to talk to them. They have to understand how money goes. So he talks about how he has this system. If they ask for money, they have to come with a plan of how they're going to repay this back, when they're going to repay this back, because he needs them to know that, hey, I'm giving this to you. So, and me giving this to you, I might be able to have it, but if someone else isn't able to so let's say I borrow money from Jasmine and she gave me her last $50. Well, I need to respect the fact that she gave me her last $50. So I need to be able to pay her back when I say I'm gonna pay her back, or work towards paying her back. So he talks about how we should understand the frequency of money, right? Now, he might not have necessarily used the word frequency, but that's how I relate to it, because giving and receiving is part of the frequency, right? Again, going back to being an asset in your family, he also talks about people who avoid paying money back, or avoid doing these things. Like you was begging and pleading, telling me, man, I'm pay you back, I'm pay you back. Then when it comes down to it, you acting like you don't even know me, right? That's not being an asset.
But he was also saying that it doesn't even have to like equate to money.
Mm-hmm.
So like, showing that you value that person's
Mm-hmm.
friendship, and the fact that they gave you the relationship, whatever you have with that person, that they gave you the money. So okay, even if you can't pay it back, okay, do something that may be equal to that. Lend a hand if they need it. Do something for them that they need. You know what I'm saying? If they reach out and say they need help with something, you should be the first person to be like, I got you.
Yeah, because you gave it to me. And that moves to invest in healthy relationships and maintaining them, because he also goes back and talk about that as well. Because to be honest, like, I wish we could go point by point by point, but it's like a lot of the things kind of all related to each other. So, so
you should go back to supporting Black-owned businesses.
Yeah. So, buy Black whenever possible. Mm-hmm. So he also goes in to talk about, again, when I just told you that our money circulates in our community for 6 hours, you have to understand why, or question, why is that the case, right? We're the biggest demographic that buys and spends. So why isn't that money circulating in our community? And he goes back to talking about trust, right? It's been years and years of, slavery and things to make us distrust one another, just simply because if for instance, I asked her for money and I don't give it back, then it creates that distrust, and we rather go and work with other people. And again, yes, they've had businesses longer than we have, but at the same time, we have to develop those skills and we have to offer advice. So if I'm working with someone and I'm like, hey, you could do this better, we actually as people need to be able to listen and understand and receive that information. Because if you're coming from a great place, like you want to see me become more and you're giving me advice on how to do that, I should be open and willing to receive that advice and try to make some changes to accommodate so that I can grow. He also talks about
before you move on to that, I wanted to talk about just the support in the Black businesses, right? Because basically he was trying to say that you put in that money into that business, or you have a family member that wants to start a business, they need customers. And it doesn't, basically he said, it doesn't cost anything to support them. So like, people have a hard time with family members and friends even liking a post or sharing a post or spreading the word or whatever like that. Because it doesn't always have to be monetary, right? Because just by you sharing or letting somebody know about that person's business can be supporting that person, because that person may end up going to their website or going to them and needing those services. For whatever reason in our community, we don't like to do that. I don't know why. We don't even support our own family members. Like we'll be like, oh, be like the negative Nancy's, like, that's going to be so much work, and that's going to be this, and instead of being encouraging. So you need to make sure that you are encouraging to your people, even if it's not your family, if it's just a friend. Like for me, for instance, I'm bad at being on social media, so I barely share my own stuff. But if I see like one of my friends that I know, like especially people that I've known in the military, and I know a few people who have businesses, they don't live here, but they don't live here. Like, for instance, the one girl, she lives in Tennessee. And I share her, she has a food truck. I can't go there. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if anybody on my social media is in Tennessee. But I share it anyway.
Yeah, because somebody like me, I like to travel. I might be like, hey, she was sharing this thing,
and
I want to see.
I
wish
try
it.
I wish I could order some.
Like, send it to Keith Lee. Send it to Keith Lee. Like, hey, check this out for me. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if this good.
Yeah, but you gotta support your people. Like,
and he
regardless.
even talks about support coming like for free, like, and not saying for free, but when he goes and talks about the family, and he talks about. And I want to bring this up because numbers don't lie, right? So let's take a 6-family home, right? You have the mom, a dad, and 4 kids. Everybody has their degree and everybody is making $60,000 a year. So $60,000 times 6 is $3,600 a year, right? In 10 years, that's 3.6 million, right? So when we think about that, it's like, okay, $3.6 million is being made in a decade in our community, but where's that money going, right? It is going to other communities and it's helping build empires in other communities.
Walmart.
And the thing about business is we have to understand the different sides of business. You have finance, taxes, marketing, you have all of those things, but you got 6 people. Finance, marketing, the goods, the sale, put
that's
everybody
what he said too.
In that position, right?
Yeah, he was saying about putting people, like if you have a family that has, even if it's just 3 people, if one person says, oh, well, somebody says they want to open up a bakery, and then somebody's like, oh, well, I love baking. I would love to do that. That's one person that's going to help you succeed.
Or I know people that would buy it.
I know people that's going to buy it. And I can put it at my job and put it here, and I know people that will buy it. That's another way. You know what I'm saying? You have the whole
and the sales.
You have the whole setup right there, and that's a business.
Exactly.
Like, you can literally have a business in your family running perfectly fine if everybody do got to be on one accord. But that's why, he also talked about making sure there was bylaws and all this stuff to make sure that everybody is, following the rules and doing their part in the business. They're saying that a lot of Black owned businesses end up, not doing well or end up closing down because the business owner is doing all the work and they're burned out. And so they can't, and to the point where they can't even do it anymore because they're so tired. But instead of, them having that family member or that friend help them, they would just rather do it themselves.
And training is important too, and I understand that a lot of us don't have the education or the knowledge to be able to run a business, but that is what information can do. If you know what you're looking for, you can find that information, you can teach yourself these things, right? He also talks about and I feel like we just jumped to number 6, which is keep it all in the family whenever possible. This is in that instance, the money. So he also talks about working, and if hey, I can't afford to pay you right now, but if we continue to do this to a certain point, because I can't even pay myself, because to be honest, you don't really make a profit until 5 years after you start a business. If you're really lucky, you can do it within 3 to 4, but most businesses don't make a profit until after 5 years because they have to pay to maintain their business. Comments right there. Yeah. Oh yes. Thank you, Keva girl. Yes. Like and share, both free ways of supporting small businesses. Yes. And also when I'm talking about donating your time or volunteering your time, if you only have maybe 3 to 5 hours a week, you can donate that to help a business. I've donated my time several places because I believe, there's something that I can learn from this situation. This is a friend. I don't mind helping. And I didn't know that was helping our economy, but hey, I've been doing it. And I would love for somebody, we looking for volunteers. We looking for you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come jump on the cause, we're here. DM us. You can email us at brwngrlzent@gmail.com. We looking. You don't even have to be located here to volunteer. You know what I'm saying? There are things that we can do. He talks about that. He talks about being able to, because time just being honest, time is an illusion. And I know I posted this a few days ago. You can literally straddle 2 different states and 2 different time zones and be both in the present, the past, and the future. Time is an illusion. And when you're working for, as he says, the man, they're renting your time for probably less than nothing, right? So if you can donate 5-6 hours for, we'll say, free, and then you help build this business, and now you're making $100,000 a year or whatever above that, because again, let's look at it as 3.6 million in 10 years working for the man, and you're giving them time. How do you explain this? He's paying you $60,000, but you're making him $200,000. You know what I'm saying? So if you're able to pay yourself and put this money into your own thing, then you could be making that 200,000 versus that 60,000. That makes sense. If it makes sense, y'all hard. I'm gonna go hard because it was making sense to me. And then capital must be preserved, protected, and efficiently used. So he uses the example of a rapper, going and making all this money, and him being a grown child going and spending his money on frivolous things, not having, life insurance policy, not having an inheritance, not anything for his kids. And then now y'all on GoFundMe. And I think that, and I'm not saying, GoFundMe is, that's probably a business and they make a percentage off of that. So I can't knock a business making money. Right. However, there are life insurance policies. If y'all go check out our website, browngirlscollective.org, you can see some resources that we have provided for you guys to protect yourself and your business, because you should have life insurance. It could be, like we said last time, find out, get the information, know what it is that you're getting. We're reading the dotted lines. We're reading the small print. So we know exactly what this is going to do for us in our future and our family, right? And so having that, even if the worst case scenario, at least your funeral is covered and you have something to leave somebody, right? A lot of people think, okay, well, because I died, my bills and my debt died. No, that gets transferred over to your family. So you're leaving debt behind. You're not leaving anything behind. And he goes and talks about always leave a worthy inheritance, land, homes, money. But in the same sense, you also leave the education. So because even if you were to leave somebody $100,000, if they don't have the education and the wisdom to be able to make this 100,000 3.6 million, it's a waste. But it is an opportunity, right?
But that's why he also said, like in the beginning, to have like start having family meetings and you guys talk about, like a plan, like having something together, even if you're not, starting a business, just, making sure that everybody is, up to speed on like what's important as far as like having those, having life insurance and making sure you have money invested in things and, stuff like that. So having those meetings with your family. And again, even if you don't, because he did talk about, people who may not have family that are like a healthy family base, I would say, like, find friends that you can do that with. I'm sure over time you've probably created, like a small circle of some sort, and you can do that with them once a week, or once every 2 weeks, or once a month, or whatever you feel like you need to do. But that's important to do that, so that everybody can, is on the same accord if that does happen, so that everybody has a plan strategically.
Yeah. Like I said, I really enjoyed this book because it is something that I feel very strongly about. In this day and age, I feel like we as Black people are being pushed to create. I'm seeing a lot of businesses. I'm seeing a lot of creatives come together. I'm seeing community. And that is what's needed in order for us to be able to stop the violence within our own community. Well, from people outside our community, and hopefully to stop the violence within our community. And a lot of that comes from lack of education, a lack of knowledge, a lack of representation. I've seen posts recently talk about, hey, stop that rap career. We need hospitals. We need doctors. We need this. We need that. We do need to create those infrastructures for ourselves, so that we can take care of our people. And I'm not saying the government ain't. I ain't saying the government is. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we have to start thinking about ourselves as a community, because this 6 hours need to become 6 weeks. It needs to go to a day. It needs to start moving up. We need to start.
But I do want to say, even if you do end up being like a rapper or whatever, right? You should still be putting into the community, right? So, okay, you decide your lane is being a rapper, but you know that we need more doctors and more lawyers or more whatever, right? You make sure you put into, okay, so I want to give a grant
or a
scholarship to this group of people, so that they can go to school and get that degree to be those things, like doing stuff like that, so that we are generating that. Like, you don't necessarily have to become a doctor or a lawyer if that's not your lane, but you do need to make sure that you're putting into that part of the community, because it's needed.
And also providing jobs. Like, that's the jobs. Like, if we're going to say we're going to give scholarships for you to be a lawyer, well, we need to have a place to be able to put them, so that they can come and work, and they can work within our community. They can be advocates for our community, because if we're pushing them in other communities, they're going to start thinking and formulating as that other community. We need them to start thinking and formulating for us and our well-being. So I do definitely and would love that to happen. T.I., I know T.I. is doing things. There are some rappers out here that are doing things, but I feel like a lot of us need to understand that we are a community and we have to look out for each other. I know that the trust issue is pretty
Mhm.
high on our list because we'd rather do businesses with others than ourselves because we don't trust ourselves. So we have to understand the indoctrination and the brainwashing that has gone on for several centuries now. I believe,
but it's not always brainwashing.
Because
and this is why I'm gonna say that, because just like he said in the book, there was a lady that he talked to, and she said that's why I don't support Black-owned businesses, right? And she said it was because she went to the restaurant, the food was bad, the prices was high, and then when she complained, they gave her an attitude. So we also need to make sure that when we are building a business, that we are reliable, and that we are creating good things that people can actually spend their money on and make them want to come back, because that's another reason why we are not able to be supported, because we don't have that customer service, that base to help it. I mean,
I disagree because at the end of the day, if that was the case, and why we wanted to go into these white shops and stores that they didn't want us.
I mean, that's the case, but it's a true statement.
It is a true statement. But we fought to be able to go into these places to eat potato salad.
I mean, you're right. You are 100% right.
Because we've been brainwashed and indoctrinated to feel, and that trust has been taken because we were separated.
Yeah, but it doesn't help when you are being that way, and you need to be.
But there are several
have good customer service.
Do you still shop at a hair store? Because
I don't shop at places that I don't like.
Use the bathroom. People will still shop in these places, getting these attitudes
from these others,
and still shop there because it's convenient. Like I'm literally talking because of last year I used to work at a gas station a long time ago. And I saw the difference between one owner and the next. The first owner, he was lovely. I mean, lovely. Like he had, kids coming out, getting dropped off at school. He would like have a couple ice creams for them. And he understood that he was in our community. He understood that he was in our community and helping, making sure that the community felt safe with him being here, right? Because you're implanting yourself, you're an other, implanting yourself into a community. This person came in and was completely doing all this extra stuff, running, chasing people out of the store, like doing extra stuff. This man's store, and I asked, I'm like, well, when I left because he was doing this, and I just knew somebody was gonna come and pop that place. But that didn't happen. But people continuously shopped at that store, knowing how nasty he was, because they said it was convenient, because he was literally the corner store for 4 different apartments, and they could just walk up and go. They supported this business. But also,
we are a lot harder on ourselves.
Exactly. And why is that? Why is that? Why is that?
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, why is that? Why is that? We are like that because we have been trained to not trust each other.
My thing is, I'm not saying that you're wrong. You are absolutely right. However,
y'all heard that? She said I was right.
I said you was right the first time.
Listen. Can we do
however, comma. There are. You still need to have good customer service.
Yes. And I definitely
you
agree with
still
that.
need to have good products. I personally don't go anywhere. I'm not shopping anywhere where I have had a bad experience. I will never shop. You will never see me again. You'll never get another dollar.
You will see it on Facebook though, because I will shop.
I ain't even doing all of that because I don't even want to give you. I don't even want to give you no props. I don't want nobody to either.
I'm telling you.
What I'm saying, I don't want to give you no type of promotion. I don't want to give you good promotion or bad. I'm just not never. I might tell somebody about it. But I'm not posting it or none of that, because I don't even want nobody to know. I'm just not gonna go there no more.
Well,
but at the end of the day, some people are not like that. They just go to things that are convenient, and I get that. But I do still feel like since we are so hard on ourselves because of that, we need to make sure that, especially if we are catering to our own, like, why would you give me a bad product if I'm trying to support you? Why are you being nasty to me if I'm trying to support you?
Well, because
you know what I'm saying, and you know your business need.
Well, yeah, because
this.
honestly, you can tell the difference between community and money, right? A lot of people are out here just to make money, and they're like, people are gonna buy anything, and somebody might have lied to them, told them they could cook. Because I promise you this, I ain't going nowhere no bad food, white or black or any place. I don't like San Jose. People be like San Jose. I don't think I ever ate there. I do not like San Jose. That shit is watered down. And it is what it is. But I personally like this other restaurant, and I'll go there because the food is seasoned and it's good.
Yeah, you said San Jose name, so now everybody knows. What's the other restaurant that you like?
Hola Mexico.
Okay.
Hola Mexico.
Yeah, just make
Hola
sure
Mexico.
that
Hola Mexico. Hola Mexico.
My point is, if you're gonna start a business, make sure you have good product. Make sure you have quality product. Make sure that you have good customer service. If somebody is unhappy with their product, make sure that you are able and willing to do what it is, give them a, ship them something better, make them a new plate, give them a discount on the next one, whatever it is you can do without the attitude.
I mean, yeah. And that's why I mean, when I go and I say that when people are giving you feedback, then you need to understand that's what it is to help. Like, criticism isn't always a bad thing. And I think that we as people have to learn that we don't know everything. We don't know everything. And we have to be able to accept and receive information so that we can grow, because information is valuable. It's more valuable than money, because if you don't have any money, but you know how to make it, the information itself is more valuable than money. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Okay. Mary Had a Little Lamb. But yeah, so I do think this was a good read, and I think that everybody should, especially in our community, should read this. We are going to be going live next week. Let me go ahead and put that up there real quick. We are going live next week. Let me make sure y'all on this can see too. Let me bring this up to y'all. We are going to be going live. We're going to be talking about the 1619 project, and I also think that it would be a good opportunity for us to also touch back on this Black 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. So we're going to be live. We're going to have some in-person guests. We're going to do this in person, and we're going to have a community conversation. So do make sure that y'all tune in 2 weeks. I want to say June 23rd on Sunday around 7-8 o'clock. We're still putting the time together and everything like that, because sometimes I just feel like we be rushing to sit here and have this conversation. But we said we're going to come through. We're holding ourselves accountable. Y'all hold us accountable, and we're going to continue to do this, because I do believe education is key. And I think that the more we have this conversation, the better the conversation will be, and the more that we as a community can come together. What happened? Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, I felt like we discussed a lot. Is there anything else you would like to say to the people?
No, just, support Black businesses, support your family, support your friends, be positive. Being a negative Nancy is never cute in any situation.
Oh, sorry guys, I was trying to get this. Nerves high.
So yeah, just be supportive in any way that you can. It's important. We all trying to do better, and thanks for the hearts. We all trying to do better and grow. And I think that if we can actually come together as family and friends, we can start to build our own community and have our own things and rely on each other instead of relying on so many outside sources.
And I'm gonna say this.
There are a lot. Hold on. There are a lot of business. There are a lot of people, Black people, brown people, these color people, that have businesses that we don't even know about, because they're not being supported by their friends and family. So if you have a friend or a family member that is in business and that they're really working hard, and if you have some like advice or want to let them know something that you noticed when you bought their product, give that information, let them know what's going on. Just, be that person for them. That's important. They need that, so that they don't end up being one of those statistics where they didn't make it past the year because they had everything on their back. So yeah.
And I'm gonna say this. If you are a business owner, we're here. We want to support you. We want to share. We might not always can buy products, but we're connecting in the community to be able to showcase your products and your services. We're on social media as well, and we are growing. So we are wanting to share your products and services. Again, we're on social media, so we're everywhere. Mm-hmm. We're not just here in Columbia, South Carolina. We are everywhere. So make sure that you send us your stuff. Like, let us know what it is that you're doing. Connect with us. We want to connect with you. We're wanting to build a community amongst us, right? So that we can capitalize. Because I will say this, and I'm going to say this, right? ASAIN hate, right? How long did that last? It did not last long. You want to know why? It's because they pulled their money and they said, if you don't stop killing us, we're taking away from this. And it's stopped immediately. And the reason why we are continuously seeing things happen is because we don't have a pool of money that we can just pool. Mm-hmm. Now, if we look at the Montgomery boycott, and we look at all of these things that happened and took place in the past, the reason why these things changed was because we said, we're not paying. We're not paying to ride this bus. And the bus, when they realized that majority of the people riding this bus was us, and they weren't making no money, though they were going to have to lay off this and all of this, things change. And if we want things to change for us, we want to stop the killing of our boys and our girls in our community. We need to be able to pull our money. But how do we pull money that we're not keeping in our community? I mean, 6 hours. 6 hours. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? So again, make sure you guys connect.
6 hours.
6 hours is how long our money circulates in our community.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
thinking about something else.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, I work 8 hours a day.
Yeah, my point exactly. You work 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week.
Technically 9 because I get an hour lunch break.
And the money in your community only lasts 6 hours. It ain't even a full fucking shift. Okay? A full shift. Thank you for putting that in there, girl. Because you just made go home. Yeah. Like, period. But anyways, you guys, it was nice being on here with y'all. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. We're reading the 1619 Project. It is a lengthy read. So make sure you guys start reading now. You can go ahead and read like an hour and 30 minutes a day just to go ahead and be up on the conversation. We will
if you're watching on TikTok, I have the name of the book and who it's by pinned in the comments. So go ahead and download it. Buy the book if you need to get an actual book. It's on Audible, so you can listen to it.
Excuse me.
Want to listen to it? Okay.
This book. We got a copy, hard copy. I ain't gonna read the hard copy. I promise you it's Audible all day. But yes, this is the book we're gonna read. Lord Jesus. Medicine, money, self-defense, the camp, citizenship, goddamn capitalism, dispossession, fear. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, race. Oh, it's gonna talk democracy. It's gonna talk about this. The free face. Look, but anyway, so you guys, it was good seeing y'all. Thank you for checking in. I know this was a quick one for us, but we're trying to save time because we will be back in 2 weeks, and I'm pretty sure because we're gonna have some people on. We might be an hour 30, hopefully no longer than that.
And make sure you comment. We're looking at the comments. We're able to talk back to you. So if you have any input, if you read the book. Or if you do decide to read the 1619 Project, I haven't read it, but she says that it will tie in really well. So just go ahead and listen to or read the 10 Commandments first. It's like 4 hours long, but I had it sped up, so it was only 2 hours and some change. So go ahead and listen to that real quick, and then go ahead and get into the 1619 Project so that you guys can leave comments and talk to us and let us know what you think, how you feel, and all that good stuff, because we really want to get your feedback. TikTok, we trying to get our likes up here, so please make sure you send in gifts if you can. Hearts are always welcome.
Yeah, and of course
we got badges on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So if you can, if you want to add a badge, that would be great. Again, we are a nonprofit, so it's going to go straight to our nonprofit. Thank you, TT.
Oh yeah, she it's a she, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
CTT.
they talking about they come in person. We'll see you
Okay.
in person.
So yeah, and make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend
to
tell a friend.
Go ahead and get on the live and follow us and all that good stuff so that they could be a part of the conversation as well. The more people, the better. The more, the merrier.
Yes, ma'am. But we need a head count because I was
well, not there, but watching.
Yeah, okay.
On
Because
the
I was like,
live.
I got food and drinks. I need to know.
Yeah, no, on the live. Make sure you tell. Give them the the Facebook, Instagram, whichever TikTok, whichever one they plan on watching us on. We're going to be on all three. So just make sure you have you. Okay, we'll see you there.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have you give them that stuff so that they can join in and give their feedback. I'm excited to see how well we do this time. Hopefully we get some more viewers on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I've been sharing it. I know you've been sharing it. We're gonna have notifications coming up, so you'll know when it's coming in advance and all that. So don't be scared.
Don't be scared. But all right, you guys.
You're welcome,
See you
Magnolia.
next time. Oh, wait. I want to play my music. Play my music. Play that funky music. Oh, I thought I was like, did I put that up there? But I did. I did. Oh, is this the end? All right.